everybody, and welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. We're excited to bring you another episode where we chat about baseball like a group of friends hanging out at the bar. Your feedback is important to us, so please feel free to share your comments. If you enjoy the podcast, spread the word to your friends. Also, if you like to follow along, we have created a graphic view of the transcript that can be viewed on our YouTube site. Check it out. In our 19th episode, the World Series and 2024 recap, we want to express a big thank you to all our loyal listeners for your ongoing support. And for those that are new here, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the show. Alrighty, let's get started. World Series. Oh boy. Yankees versus the Dodgers. So this was it, huh? I was truly hoping for a well-played series by both teams, but I only got one team playing well. There were so many subplots in this series. Will Cole still have enough in his tank to be dominant? Will Soto continue to hit? Will Judge start to hit? Can the Yankees bullpen continue to rake? Do the Dodgers have enough starting pitching? Is Ohtani going to smoke in the World Series? Can Freddie even play? Are the Dodgers' arms toasted? Can the Dodger bats keep on stroking? Well, game one. That saw a 6-3 Dodgers win, and it was all Freddie Freeman. I still can't believe it. That was the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history. Holy cow. You know, with all the hype building up to game one, it made me think that this series could be anticlimactic. But hell no, game one was awesome. Even if you were a Dodger fan, a Yankee fan, you know, the Yankees winning game two was a must then. And the Yankees knew they couldn't waste the first two games with a loss, so they tried the same game plan as the Guardians series. The Dodgers looked pretty damn tenacious at that moment. You know, Yankee fans were screaming already that Aaron Boone managed a blockhead game. And I gotta agree, why not ride the arm of Cole? Leave him in to throw 7 innings in that first game. Then bring in Conley and Can Holmes not. Then go to Weaver in the ninth. Those are all good points. Also, why walk Mookie Betts to get to Freddie Freeman facing Cortez? Are there any scouts up in the Bronx? If so, Freddie Freeman hits left-handers in case they didn't notice, especially a 94-mile-per-hour meatball in the zone. But hang in there. More games to go, I guess, right? Well, game two saw the Dodgers win 4-2, and boom, just like that, the Dodgers are cruising in on sweeping them, right? This, I feel, this was a must-win game for the Yankees, Cole not getting the game one win. They blew that opportunity. And game two saw the Yankees relying on Rodon to come through with a win. But the Dodger momentum took over, and the Yankees lost another opportunity to display their so-called starting staff advantage. I love that, right? When was the last time you thought the Yankees had a starting staff advantage over any team? Yankee fans are wondering themselves which team is showing up. Now, I'm not the only one saying that now. Judge and Rodon were basic failures in game two. And I don't believe the Yankees have that kind of team where they can come back. They were on the doorstep of being embarrassed in the World Series, just as they were against the Astros in 2022. The Dodgers absolutely crushed them. The only question now is, will the Yankees fold in New York or attempt to come back? You don't really beat this Dodger team by leaving your bats in the dugout. The Dodgers are going to hit, so you better be ready to slug it out. Interesting fact that Dodger Stadium, we talked about in the past, is the largest stadium in seating capacity at 56,000. But the Dodgers only had 52,394 and 52,725 show up for games 1 and 2. Things that make you go, huh? Now, game 3, so the Dodgers beat the Yankees 4-2. Different stadium, same result, and sweep is looking even more closer, right? Seriously, 1 hit for how many innings? The Yankees didn't hit again. They scored a couple token runs in the 9th, but are you kidding me with this team? I think the Mets and Phillies could have easily won the series over the Yankees. Game 4, about time they scored some runs, right? It's funny how certain players do perform at a higher level than their peers. It is a talent you cannot see or read in stats. It's the personal fortitude that a player has to make him perform above and beyond when pressure mounts. And, that's what made a great player out of Derek Jeter. His understanding of the situation and the ability to, perform. Unfortunately, we can put this part of the conversation to rest when talking about Aaron Judge. I'm over it now. I gave him the opportunity to have it out there on the table where he could come back and perform and show us that, we're wrong. But this World Series performance will forever tarnish him. He has become, in one short disappointing series, the new Fran Tarkenton, unable to win the big game or perform under pressure. In case that name sounds foreign, he was a star quarterback for the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings in the NFL, and he was known for not being able to perform in a big game. It's a shame, but I think Judge now has that title. At least the Yankees weren't swept. That would have been totally embarrassing in my book. The Yankees were right back to the same status as Game 1. Must win on cold start. That pretty much describes every game at this point. And by the way, who said Freddie Freeman is not a home run hitter? Jeez, 6 games with a home run in a row? What a time of the year to get hot. And what he does just to avoid running around the bases. Now, so the Yankees got lucky with an 11-4 win in Game 4. So you thought maybe Game 5 is going to be different, right? Dodgers 7, Yankees 6, wrap it up. Cole went 6 2/3 innings, but the Yankees imploded in the 5th inning, losing the game and the series. Now, Yankee Stadium seats 46,537 for baseball, so it was no surprise that the 3-game attendance of 49,368, 49,354, and 49,263. Now, there's one thing though. Those are all great attendance numbers, but the Dodgers really took the Yankee crowd out. And they took them out early and they took them out late and they made no difference at all. That was the quietest 49,000 I've ever seen a series go. Yankee fans were sitting there just waiting for them to fuck up, it looked like to me. What a way to end the series. Up 5-0 and the Yankees proceeded to lose the game by doing just what we've been talking about. Inconsistent plays, bonehead plays, errors, mental mistakes. You watch the game. I don't need to say shit about it at this point. The only bad thing to say about the Dodgers is that they have not clinched a World Series at Dodger Stadium since 1963. The Dodgers are going to be back as a top-tiered playoff contender next year. The Yankees? Who knows? It will not be this team, that's for sure. All right, so what kind of recap did we have in 2024? This season saw some awesome baseball and some shit baseball too. Well, that was mostly in Chicago. This was the first year of our podcast, and I hope you enjoyed listening to as much as I have, enjoyed doing it. I think we had some good episodes, as I ask you to revisit some of the early ones that have popped into the news lately. Visit episode 3, Framing Expansion. Now, this playoff series showed you what the hell I'm ranting about with framing and the one knee stance. Bo Naylor, if you remember that series and their 7 wild pitches, ugh. Look into this one as I rant about the one knee catching and also the possible realignment and expansion changes of Major League Baseball and the playoff schedule. Episode 6, revisit that one. That was MLB and the RSNs. By now, you've recognized that they're finally talking about the RSNs, and the shit is starting to hit the fan because we're getting into the free agent period, and teams now are starting to say, we don't have any money. We're losing $60 million this year we were going to use on free agents. I knew it was coming. In episode 10, the Mike Trout finished episode, well, I have had plenty of time to think about this, and that was a great episode that hits home. It's time, Angels, trade him. And Mike Trout, wake up. I mean, you are finished. And if you want to prove me wrong, because I'd love to see him play 135 games, but it's not going to happen in our lifetime. Now, I look forward to the next season of the podcast, and I've decided that season 1 episodes will run till about January 1st, 2025. After that, I'm going to call it the new season will begin. Once again, drop us a comment or a suggestion. Let us, you know the drill. Subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform to stay in track with us. And, now, what about the season that we've just completed? The American League East. I think it has not a new rivalry in the Orioles and Yankees. It's a revived one. They battled all year for the top spot, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I kind of expect much of the next season for these two teams. I don't think this is going to be the same Yankee team, but the Yankees are just built to win 90 games and fuck up in the playoffs. So that's what they do. So they'll be there. Now, the Red Sox, the Rays, or even the Blue Jays, I'm not discounting anybody because I think all are going to improve in 2025. It's going to be interesting offseason for all these teams because they're all going to prepare for 2025, and there's big questions. On the Blue Jays, what kind of team is going to be on the field in 2025? Vladimir Guerrero. Is he going to get moved? I don't really know. It's like a dangling a carrot in front of a horse, I think all teams in the East have a lot of roster moves to make, and it's going to be determined soon. We'll talk more about this in our free agent episode. Now, in the American League Central, which I think produced the best and the most exciting baseball of the 2024 season. It's going to be very similar next year. And who would have ever guessed that the Guardians, the Royals, the Tigers, and the Twins would be battling it down to the last? The Guardians had a great year, but they better watch because the Tigers and Royals next year, they made a statement in the postseason. Those teams will only improve. The Twins, though, wow, they imploded at the end of the year, and I have a feeling they're on the downward trend. But thankfully, the White Sox remain on the bottom, as they should be. That team is such a poison from players to front office. I feel sorry for Will Venable, who was hired as their next manager. Hey, didn't he turn down the Mets? Over in the American League West, it's always got to begin with the Astros. In the beginning of the year, I just couldn't believe the Astros were really as bad as their record was showing. Were they that bad, or did the Mariners just time it well? Mariners. Holy shit. Wow. That team turned out to be a pitiful mess. Outstanding starting pitching, but the team had no hitting and too many friggin' injuries. I would have fired Scott Servais too. Let's hope Dan Wilson can impact the no-hit mentality. The Rangers? I give the Rangers no respect. No, I'm sorry, none. With as much as they've spent on over-the-hill, useless starting pitching, I'm surprised they were even near 500. I'm sorry. Any team praying for Jacob deGrom to be healthy enough to pitch should just buy lottery tickets. I see the team formerly known as the Oakland A's surpassing the Rangers in 2025. I'm not sure how they will be this year coming up, but the A's were pretty exciting for a forgotten team. I like the year Rooker had, and his whole supporting team had, they put runs on the board. The Angels? Too bad Ron Washington left the Braves to manage that team. Ugh. And like I said, just trade Mike Trout this offseason. Get it over with. In the National League East, damn, the Phillies were pretty consistent all year long. Then the playoffs hit and, the Phillies didn't. That was the problem. I see the Braves back on top in 2025, and they're going to have a different team as well. But they just had a rough year. It's hard to recreate the year they had in 2023. They cruised the entire season, and then they crapped out in the playoffs and never putting it together this past season with devastating injuries. I don't see that happening 2 years in a row. I'm going to play the show me game with the Mets. Are they the team that played inconsistent and crappy the first half of 2024? Or the smoking hot team of the second half and the playoffs? Who knows what they're going to get into this offseason that could pretty much redefine that team. It should be interesting to find out. This is a potent division. I kind of expect the Nationals to be much better in 2025 as well. And then we got the Marlins. The Marlins and the Tampa Bay Rays from the American League should just be contracted. I'm tired of this shit. The ownerships are so fraudulent for a Major League Baseball franchise, and the state of Florida, let me put it out here so it's clear. They don't deserve a Major League team. The fans have proven beyond a doubt they will not support their teams. This podcast, as of this podcast, we don't even know where the Rays will be playing their home games this year. With that dump of a stadium ruined by the storms, I'd eliminate the Marlins and Rays and just create a new team for the Utah market, put them in the American League by 2029, realign the league similar to episode 3, and just approve Nashville for a National League expansion. I'm sick of the Florida situation. It's embarrassing as a Major League Baseball, both the Rays and Marlins, the support that they get. Okay, I think I made that clear. National League Central. Well, the all underperforming league. If there's an under, it's the National League Central. With the exception of the Brewers, all teams in this division continue to underperform. The Cubs, they try to put a team together. I got to give them points for that. The Cardinals? Wow. I think they're ready to pack it in for 2025. And the Reds and Pirates are teams I'm pissed off about. They both have young, talented players, but they don't put it together. Why? Why did the Pirates implode to 76 and 86? I expected more from them. But, it should be interesting with Francona coming to manage the Reds. And I'm hearing that Joey Votto may come back in some kind of capability of coaching or in the announcer's booth or something. But, that team needs awakening. And I think they hired the perfect manager. Really. And so I'm expecting something better for the Pirates and the Reds next season. National League West? I don't know. Come on. The Dodgers had a pretty damn good year. And really, so did the Padres. But the Padres came to the party a little late. And a little late describes the Diamondbacks to a T. They showed up way too late, didn't even make the playoffs. The Giants are going to be looking this offseason for some big bopper. Somebody can hit. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get it. And the Rockies, I think Rockies going to be selling. They're going to be selling more than they normally do. We'll see them in 4th and 5th place in 2025. So, I don't see it doing much with that. Now, we had some. Let's see. If you say, let's just say the top 15 Major League Baseball hitters. Looking at that list, Bobby Witt, Vladimir Guerrero, Aaron Judge, Luis Arraez, Shohei Ohtani, Jordan Alvarez, Marcell Ozuna, Trey Turner, Jose Altuve, Brent Rooker, Jackson Merrill, Stephen Kwan, Ketel Marte, and Mookie Betts. That's a damn good list. That sounds like I named everybody from the All-Star games, right? And you have to look at the year Bobby Witt Jr. had. And, you just wonder if he would have had it any other year, MVP. But Judge, thankfully, we're not supposed to think about the postseason, and they already vote on it before the postseason, because that would skew a lot of people if you was just voting on it now. He was just so on track that his numbers make you go, wow. But I'm curious, seriously, will Shohei Ohtani pitch this coming year or ever again? It's pretty much a guarantee looking at this list that Marcell Ozuna will be with a new team in 2025. And that's really a given. With guys moving on, I still have a feeling someone is going to grab up Brent Rooker from the A's this offseason. So keep your eye on that. Now, top 15 Major League Baseball pitchers, that's another list. Look at this list. Chris Sale, Skubal, Zach Wheeler, Blanco, Eminaga, Valdez, Burns, Bruce Miller, Bryce Miller, Michael King. Boy, we had some great pitching performances this year, and it's going to be interesting to see if some of the pitchers on the top 15 will follow up with another. Corbin Burns, Michael King, Tanner Houck, Jack Flaherty, and Max Fried, they all could return to this list in 2025, but with different teams. Now, our future episodes will address many aspects of the coming 2025 season. So don't forget about us in the off season. I hope you enjoyed our 19th episode of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Friday, November 29th, 2024 is the next release date, as we will be moving to 2 podcasts per month. The first Friday of the month and the last Friday of the month. This one was a little different because I wanted to get the World Series in, and I thought it was going to go 6 or 7 games. Well, thank you for listening, and spread the word to your friends. Don't forget, our next episode will be on the free agents, and that's going to be debuting on Friday, November 29th. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.